Hi, this is AtomBomb98, and today I'm going to review the Spyderco Yojimbo 2. Okay, this is an amazing knife, and believe it or not, but it was actually given to me as a gift from a very nice fan on YouTube. He actually has an Instagram account, and it's CR Kayak Fishing. It's mainly about fishing, but he has a lot of cool knife pictures on there too, of some of his Spydercos. But especially if you like fishing and the outdoors, you should definitely check that out. It's a pretty cool account. Anyway, I'm extremely grateful to have received such a nice knife. I really like this knife. It's awesome. Alright, now let's start the review. The overall length of this knife is 7.55 inches. The blade length is 3.11 inches. And the length of this knife when it's closed is 4.51 inches. And then the knife overall weighs about 4 ounces, which is pretty decent if you want to carry it in your pocket. Anything under 5 ounces is a good EDC, in my opinion. Alright, so now let me start with the blade. The blade is a CPM S30V, which is a great blade steel for an EDC knife. It has perfect edge retention and corrosion resistance. Now you'll probably notice that the blade shape is a little bit unusual. This is what is referred to as a Warncliffe style blade. You'll notice that the cutting portion is completely flat when compared to, let me get the paramilitary over here. You'll see that the cutting portion is curved and it has a nice belly on it. In my opinion, this is better for EDC tasks because it's just like if you're slicing something or a fruit, it just cuts it better. Whereas this is primarily designed as a defensive blade for self-defense because, here, let me zoom out a little bit. If you ever have to use this for self-defense and you go to swing, 100% of the energy and the force is transferred to the tip of the blade. Whereas if it has a nice belly on it and it curves back up to the top there, you know, you have to kind of swing your wrist a little bit to get the momentum to the tip. So this knife was designed by Michael Zanich. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it was designed to be a self-defense blade. So, yes, it can function very nicely as a EDC or a utility blade, but it's primarily designed as a defensive blade. And you don't want to use your defensive blade as an EDC blade, because then if you ever need it for self-defense, it may not be razor sharp, whereas this is. Here, let me put in a paper cutting demonstration, and you will see that this knife is razor sharp. It slices right through the paper, and that is how I got it. I haven't had to sharpen it yet. So the previous owner definitely did a good job at sharpening this knife. The lock on this knife is the same as on the paramilitary. It's called a compression lock, and I love this lock. It's actually probably one of my favorites. You just compress it and the blade just completely goes loose, and then you can close your knife. And because this blade is such a big heavy blade, it makes closing the knife extremely easy because all you have to do is swing it and it closes because of the momentum. It also makes opening the knife easy too. You just give it a little flick and it opens up. That's also another thing I love about this knife. The heavy blade makes it extremely easy to open and close. I don't know if I mentioned, but this little curve up here allows for you to put your thumb up there, choke up for extra control. The lockup on this knife is amazing. There's no blade play, up or down, none at all. The compression lock locks the blade nice and tight, and you can tell the fit and finish on this knife is perfect as well, because it's a Golden, Colorado made Spyderco. So, very nice. Like most Spydercos at this price point, the handles are made out of a G10, which is pretty grippy. G10 does tend to lose its grippiness over time with the wear, but it's still decent. The liners in there are not really skeletonized. I mean, there's one little cutout in there. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but there is a slight cutout in there. Not what I would consider to be skeletonized, though. Paramilitary 2, now that's skeletonized. This, I don't know. Still decent, though. In terms of the weight, it's only 4 ounces. On the blade, you can see it says Golden, Colorado, USA, Earth. And that is Michael Zanix. Again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. That's his logo. And then it says CPM S30V and Spyderco on the other side. So now the ergonomics on this knife are pretty cool. It's like this knife is entirely designed around the ergonomics to feel perfectly comfortable in your hand. When you grab this knife, it's just a good feel. It fits like a glove. And that's what it's designed for, as a self-defense blade. You want your knife to be very comfortable in the hand. Now, the designer purposely left off jimping up here because he said he didn't want it to irritate your thumb if you ever had to use it really hard. But I don't think really jimping would hurt your thumb that bad, and I would like to see a little bit better jimping for just traction purposes, because you don't want your hand to slip up on the blade, because that would be bad. Another thing I would have liked to see is a lanyard hole. There is no lanyard hole. Now the pocket clip is tapped for left and right hand carry, tip up and tip down, but like I said, there's no lanyard hole. And I do like to have lanyards on my self-defense blades, just so I can pull them out quicker and get them ready quicker. Other than that, though, this knife is pretty much close to perfect, in my opinion. I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the video that this knife is primarily designed as a self-defense blade, but it can also function very nicely as a utility blade. So I put it through some testing. I cut paracord with it, I cut paper, I cut cardboard, and it functions perfectly. Granted, if it had a little bit more belly like the Paramilitary 2, it would probably cut better. But again, it's not really designed as a utility blade like the Paramilitary 2 is. So, this knife is an amazing knife, and I highly recommend it. Alright, well that is it for this review. Thanks for watching, and this is Adam Bomb 98.